DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we're shaping the future of animal health with pioneering science, connected technology, and insights-driven solutions to bring our customers an unparalleled portfolio of choices to improve cattle care and operational efficiency. We support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're going to have a great show today. Dr. Yijie Xiong is going to be with us. She is a precision livestock management specialist and assistant professor at the University of Nebraska. It's going to be a great show. We're glad you tuned in. We'll be right back.
When you spot BRD in your cattle, that's your golden opportunity to target infection and its associated fever with a single dose of Resflor Gold, the industry standard dual therapy. To learn more, talk to your Merck Animal Health rep or your vet and see label at resflorgold.com. Animals intended for human consumption must not be slaughtered within 38 days of treatment. This product is not approved for use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older, including dry dairy cows.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and I'm here with Dr. Yijie Xiong, and she is an assistant professor at the University of Nebraska in two departments, animal science and biological systems engineering. She is a precision livestock management assistant professor, and so you're involved in a lot of different technology.
I am. So my title is Precision Livestock Management. Basically is applying and investigating in a new or novel technologies and see their applications on livestock management. So by default, I am doing a lot of cool and fun stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, you are. And this is going to be a fun show. So when you start to dream and scheme, Yijie is one of those people that can make it happen. So how do you come up with ideas?
So one way that I often found it really helpful is to talk and communicate with people, especially producers, when I have the opportunity to interact with them. They always have the best and most creative ideas, in my opinion. Then a lot of their need and thoughts help me to tailor and to come up with either extension program ideas or research ideas.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. If you listen to people who have skin in the game and that have real opportunities, there's issues and opportunities.
Yes.
And they're the ones looking at it every day saying, man, I wish I had something that did that.
I can feel that every day.
And so that as you start to evolve, what are some of the things that you see people, as far as issues? You've talked about how much their cows weigh and fencing.
Yeah, so Dan was talking about how much a cow weigh, and that was a good example for why I decided to do this work, because my background is agriculture engineer, so I learn most of my animal-related, especially cattle-related knowledge from my colleagues and from producers. So when I first came to Nebraska in 2020 and started my job, I had a really genuine colleague, Travis Mullenix, and he was telling me that a lot of our producers don't have the capacity to weigh their cattle on a regular basis. So I think that is one of the challenge, is the labor and equipment.
So what we're going to do today is Dr. Yijie has worked on in three different areas. One, how do we get cattle weights without putting them through the chute or not having a scale? The other one is talking about some of the fencing technologies that are out there. And then one thing we all look at is water monitoring, and are our cows drinking, and how much are they drinking, and how do we improve productivity? But it's going to be a fun show, isn't it?
I hope so.
That's great. Well, here we are, University of Nebraska, Dr. Yijie Xiong, and we'll be right back after these messages. Hey there folks, welcome to Cattle Intel by Neogen. Today we're talking about biosecurity, and one of the components of biosecurity is to have a good vaccination program. You should work with your local veterinarian to develop a vaccination program, not only for core diseases that cattle would transmit across the country, but also work with your veterinarian to understand endemic diseases that we can vaccinate for within herds within your region. Understanding and having vaccinations on board well in advance of animals being commingled is a vital source and a vital practice for biosecurity, making sure that diseases that if they are exposed to that disease, they're vaccinated, they don't carry the disease, they don't contract the disease or the clinical signs of that disease. Thanks for joining us on Cattle Intel, sponsored by Neogen.
They're here, they're hungry, and they can't be stopped with ivermectin. Choose Safeguard when you deworm your cattle to take out resistant parasites like brown stomach worm, Cooperia, Nematodyrus, and others. With Safeguard's efficacy, you can kill more resistant worms in your cattle, so you don't leave potential on the table. Consult your veterinarian for the diagnosis and treatment of parasitism. Then bite back at safeguardworks.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and we're here in Lincoln, Nebraska at the University of Nebraska with Dr. Yijie Xiong. And Dr. Yijie is an assistant professor in precision livestock management. She is housed in the animal science department and biological systems engineering. And with that combination, she's able to bring the world of engineering to animal science, to our cow herds. And let's start out by just talking about some of the things that are going on with the virtual fencing.
Yeah, so I think a lot of you folks have heard of virtual fence. So I actually am fortunate enough to have the actual units to show you guys. So what we see here is one type of the virtual, apologize for the noise, and then you also have another type of product. So like the cow or the heifer, steer can put their head like this, and then right here. And then it can be charged both ways, and here's the counterweight to have balance the color. So, and if you have a range, I'm sure virtual fence has been in your radar. And I'm just wanted to talk about how it works, and then some of the pros and cons and some of the limitations.
Yeah, that'd be great. So tell us how it works.
So how it works is virtual fence is basically you're creating an imaginary fence using company provided software or interface and platform to draw a boundary using coordinate designation. And then that information would be synchronized to their database and their back-end side to send signals to these colors if an animal, a cow, would to move towards the imaginary zone, and the collars would either have an audio cue or a shock cue, electric cue, if the cow decides to proceed with breaking the zone. So usually those cues are effective enough to tell the cows like something is going on, we don't want you to keep going. And then the cows kind of relate to their training and can go back to the desired and designated zone.
Yeah, so you just draw up a zone on your phone or on your computer. It outlines the area the cows can go, and then if they kind of like the dog collars in the yard, right?
Exactly, that's the exact the same concept.
Okay, and so how long does it take to train an animal is it pretty quick?
I'm always amazed. So some companies say we're gonna do 3 days, 4 days training. Some company would be more conservative, like a week, but usually a week is sufficient to train a group of cattle.
And then once they learn it, regardless of where you put them and place the boundary, it keeps them back towards the center?
No, it's not keep them back to the center. Is they can graze to wherever they want as long as in that zone.
Right, but if I change the zone from here to here, it's not dependent on where it was before. It's dependent on where I put it now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So you do have to locate them to the new zone.
Yeah.
But sometimes some companies are really smart and creative enough. They have a guided using sound cue to guide the cattle to walk there.
So you can also use the fence then to move them to the new area.
You got it.
Unbelievable.
I know.
It's incredible technology, and can't wait to learn more about it.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that today. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some ranch water monitoring opportunities that Dr. Yijie is working on. Thanks for watching DocTalk.
Every farmer knows that understanding the landscape is the most important ingredient for success. When it comes to investing in precious metals, United Patriot Coin can help steer you in the right direction. No obligation, just solid advice. Call now for your free guide, 844-202-7834.
Hey, I'm Clark Victory. I grew up right here on this little ranch near Chelsea, Oklahoma. Roped and ranched all my life. A few years ago, I had an injury that created what they call a frozen shoulder. And after speaking with the surgeon in Tulsa, he told me that he could make my shoulder better if he did surgery, but he absolutely couldn't fix it. And I called Kansas Regenerative Medical Center. I did the stem cell replacement. By 12:30, my wife and I had lunch and was driving back to Chelsea. We work around here. Some days we work pretty hard around here, and my right shoulder doesn't get sore. It's like a baby's arm.
In the livestock industry, castration is a common practice to ensure proper herd management. All methods are painful, regardless of the age of the animal. At Solvit, we could not ignore the clear industry need for better castration solutions. So we developed LidoBand, a novel lidocaine-impregnated elastrator, addressing the pain associated with band castration. It provides local anesthesia throughout the castration process. LidoBand, a small device that can make a big difference.
Ranchers, looking to elevate your pasture management game? Turn to Heinen Brothers for expert aerial application. With state-of-the-art equipment and seasoned pilots, we deliver precision treatments right to your fields. From fertilizers to herbicides, Heinen Brothers has your pasture covered. Visit HeinenBrosAg.com to learn more.
When the ones who have your heart need your help, count on us for everything they deserve, delivered fast. We'll work hard for you so you can work hard for your dreams.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and I'm here with Dr. Yijie Xiong. And Dr. Yijie is an assistant professor of precision livestock management here at the University of Nebraska. And she is housed in the Department of Animal Science and Biological Systems Engineering, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, we need more of this and more cross-departmental appointments, because the technology side and understanding the animal issues, it makes for just a great appointment.
I agree. I think one saying that I heard is the greatest knowledge gap is the knowledge silo between us.
Yep. Yeah, and we do that. We get stuck in our own little, here's the nutritionist, here's the breeder, here's the engineer, and man, when we put it all together, it just is incredible.
I totally agree.
So let's talk about the next project that you're working on. And you need to go look on the web at some of the work and the publications that Dr. Yijie has done. That's what drew me to ask her to be on the show. But you're working on some water monitoring for cows on the ranch. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the motivation for my my water monitoring little study work was driven by, again, producer needs. So I had a survey asking about their need in technology uses. So the first one undoubtedly is the disease and illness detection. And then with the tie, surprisingly, the secondary need from our producer is water monitoring systems. And it makes sense because I've heard some really sad stories that the water tank ran out of water and the manager was not able to find it right away. Cattle die.
Yep.
So fortunately, there are a lot of newer products can help folks with that aspect. So I'm gonna probably walk our way up and from the most basic to a little bit more integrated solution systems.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear how what are some things, because we see that too, whether it's winter, maybe the water tank got froze.
Mm-hmm.
Or the something went wrong with the pump,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't know.
Exactly.
So talk us through some of the basic to maybe some of the more integrated systems.
Yeah, so the easiest product that you can probably find is a trail camera.
Oh,
Surprisingly, right? You
yeah.
probably have someone is floating around in your garage. So some companies and some products are actually using the trail camera, but they made it work for water tank monitoring, and then you can set it up near your water tank. And then if you have cellular coverage, and that's great. And then you can have the camera taking a picture or a snap of video at a certain time frame, just kind of help you monitor your water level
So
there.
just putting a game camera on your water tank and then watching it on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
Yeah. The other option is there are also tailored and designed water tank monitor systems specifically for livestock management operations. So there are tons of options there. They have smart float system, they have smart water level monitoring system. So not only they can tell you the water level, some can even tell you the flow information.
Okay.
And some even have the capacity to do liquid monitoring, so diesel tanks, as an example.
Yeah.
And you can basically choose what you need. And again, extension educators are here to help you and to help you better tailor your need and find the products that might work for your operations.
I think it's great information and things I hadn't thought of that you could do starting tomorrow. Thanks for that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be here at the University of Nebraska with Dr. Yijie Xiong, and we're going to talk about using cameras to estimate cows' weights.
Success in the cattle business hinges on a lot of different people playing their part. From the vet to the cowboy and the nutritionist to the feed truck driver, you rely on them to get their job done right, and so do your cattle. Your expectations for the vaccines you use should be no different. Bimeta's cattle vaccines were developed and are made and sold by men and women in the cattle business. No smoke and mirrors, just real-world protection that you can rely on. Go to bimetabiologicals.com to learn more.
Hey folks, for your firearm and ammo needs, for gun safes and much, much more, and to have it personalized, come visit us at United Patriot Supply outside of Seneca, Kansas. You can also visit us online at unitedpatriotsupply.com. Be sure to say that Dr. Dan and DocTalk sent you, and we'll see you down the road.
The cost of an open cow these days is very expensive. It's hard at times to dedicate a half a day or a whole day to leave your practice to go palpate cows. And so Alertis Test has helped speed the process up of getting preg rates back to the owners. And so free up time for diagnostics or working in your clinic. It also will help generate revenue, not being on site to do the testing.
When it comes to treating BRD, you want a product that you can count on to get the job done at an affordable price. Macrocin by Bimeta delivers on both. A straight shooting, no BS tulathromycin that does what it's supposed to do. End of story. You don't need to take our word for it though. Go to macrocin.com for customer testimonials and head-to-head trial results. For your cattle and your bottom line, choose Macrocin.
When the ones who have your heart need your help, count on us for everything they deserve, delivered fast. We'll work hard for you so you can work hard for your dreams.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson with Dr. Yijie Xiong, and she is an assistant professor of precision livestock management here at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and she's in the animal science department and biological systems engineering, where you are doing incredible things with technology and cattle. So we're glad that you're in Nebraska.
Thank you.
You said that as you left, that you had a colleague that said, "Hey, we just don't have an easy way to weigh cows all the time. We don't have scales. Maybe we don't even get them in the chute," and you went to work on it.
Yes. So again, I'm standing on a giant's shoulder. So one of my colleague in the BSc department, she has some work on using depth camera to estimate pig weight. So what is a depth camera? I have one example right here. Basically, it's the same as a game camera. So if you guys play video games, and if you guys play Wii and that have the exercise component games in it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the depth camera used by a lot of, I think it's the PX box, they're using this one. So it's like, why don't use that and try it out? So the depth camera, in addition to the RGB, the normal typical pictures that our cameras take, it measures a different layer, is the distance. So for example, I can see the distance between this camera and my finger. And with that information, I can actually put it atop the cow while it's walking, and to get the depth profile. And it's kind of your molding process, and you're getting that contour out.
So you're going to use it. You'll set this up above a single file or a snake, and as the cow comes through, you know how tall she is because you know the depth from her hips and her withers to that camera.
Exactly. So it maps the whole body.
The width of the cow, the height of the cow, all with one camera.
Yes, always one camera. To prove the concept, and that's exactly as Dan described, is we mount it above the snake and chute. But really my biggest dream, probably in 20 years, I want this to be able to do the monitoring without the need of the snake.
Yeah, so just out in the pasture.
Exactly, like when they're coming to water, something like that. So that is really my goal of this area, and we have had really promising prototype results. So we have over 85% of correlation rate accuracy.
Wow.
And we were able to get 80% accurate body condition score within the range of 5 to 6.5.
Cool. So what's next with this, or what are some of the things that you want producers to understand?
Yeah, so what I want the folks understand is, even though we have pretty promising proof of concept, but it takes a million steps before we take from the prototype, and we take from streaming, signal processing, coding, and all that fun stuff that is beyond my pay grade to actually the field application, like I talk about, like have it in next to the water and be able to get the weight without needing any other equipment. So I think we are still in the process towards that, but the good news, we are in the process.
Yep.
And I think it would just be a matter of time before we see that coming out.
That's awesome. And as you mentioned earlier too, being able to pick out those animals of different weights and changing weight is really important for picking out disease and injured animals.
Exactly.
So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's great. And Dr. Yijie Xiong is here at the University of Nebraska. Incredible talent, doing a million things for the beef industry, and we're so thankful for all that you do.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
And we thank you for watching DocTalk. Remember, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. Always work with your local veterinarian. With Dr. Yijie Xiong, I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and we'll see you down the road.
At Merck Animal Health, we're shaping the future of animal health with pioneering science, connected technology, and insights-driven solutions to bring our customers an unparalleled portfolio of choices to improve cattle care and operational efficiency. We support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.